Good morning, students. And our next topic is a memory, or it is also called as remembering and forgetting. Okay, so in your syllabus, and they explain regarding of the what do you mean by memory. Okay, so in that memory only, and the forgetting is also the part of the memory subject. Okay, so first we'll be dealing with the what is so memory. So already you knows that memory is nothing else but remembrance, right? So here memory is a special ability that is acquiring and what we are remembering and what we are recalling. Okay, so what we are storing and what we are retaining the information and how we are recalling the information is called as a memory. Okay, so here how we are going to store the memory, retain the memory, or recall the memory means, so for example now, so I am taking the subject here, and whatever the information I am saying to you, and you are going to store in your short-term memory, yes, and later you are going to retain and recall the information, and that is going to be stimulated as a long-term memory. So that is the explanation regarding of memory. Okay, so whenever you are making this memory as a habituation, and you are going to acquire a better knowledge in all the information of the experiences. Okay, so that is called as a definitions of memory explanation. And next one is a brain areas including in the memory. Okay, so the first area includes is a so hippocampus. Okay, so hippocampus nothing else but, so in the deep, okay, the primitive structure deep in the brain itself it is going to be situated. And what is the function of this hippocampus means, and whatever the information, okay, so whatever the information so I am giving to you, and that is going to be helpful in the processing information as a memory. Okay, so processing information as a remembrance. Okay, so that is a function of the hippocampus. Okay, and second one is a amygdala. Okay, so amygdala is a, it is a same. Okay, it is situated nearby the so hippocampus, and it is almond shaped. Okay, and processing emotions and helps imprint memories that involves the emotions. So what they are saying that, so in this whatever the information we are giving, so that is in the step of processing. Okay, so and amdala is going to be what are the emotional situations happen. Okay, like a death of the person, so that type of emotions is going to be remember in this amdal. Okay, and next one is a cerebral cortex. Okay, so this cerebral cortex is a situation of the long term memory. Okay, so what is going to be there in the cerebral cortex means whatever the outer layer of the brain, it stores more long term information. Okay, and it is going also helpful in a process of languaging. Okay, so whatever we are speaking in our daily ways, and this cerebral cortex only giving the information. And sensory input means whatever we are here listen, and some tactile sensations, everything is going to be taken by the cerebral cortex. And problem solving, so problem solving means, and nothing else but to develop a skills. Okay, so the cerebral cortex, the memory, long term memory is only helpful to solve the problems. Okay, and in addition also, so in the memory the neurons also is going to be helpful, and in the process of communications, and some of the millions of cells also is going to be activated by brain cells, that is neurotransmitters. So how it will be helpful here means, yes, whenever you want to give an information, and automatically so your sensory input will stimulate and your brain cells will be stimulating, and these brain cells will be act as a transmitters from so your sensory to the brain signal. Okay, so that is the action of the neurotransmitters. Okay, so for example now, I want to take a pen from the object, right? So now what I am doing, so my neurotransmitters are helping so to send the signals to the brain that to take the pen. Okay, so that is example of brain areas and their functions in the memory storage. Okay, and next one is that the process of memorization. Okay, so the process of memorization means, so it is same like our pen drive mode only. So what is happening here means whatever either with the biophysical concept or the biochemical changes what is happening in the brain, that everything is going to be stored as a memory, and whenever we are going to recall the information, and automatically the memory is going to be give the information regarding the subject. Okay, so that process is called as a memorization. Okay, and what is how the process of memorization is going to be happens. Okay, first one is what, encoding. So encoding means what, So whatever the process is happening, that is going to translate to the sensory information and coding. For example, now, so in our computer, and we have made it in a word, we have typed everything, and that we have to store as one word, right? For example, now, yes, if you have to store as a BSc first year, so BSc first years you have to make a code for that, and you are going to send the signals to the information. So that is called as what? Encoding. Okay, whatever the sensory information is there, so that you are make as a code, and you are going to remember the information. And next one is the storage. So storage means what? Whatever the encode, whatever the coding information is there, so that you are going to encode the message, means power of retention. So for example, now if I'll ask whatever I am explaining, so it is going to be stored in your memorization as a storage. Yes, so if you will ask the questions at last, and you are going to give the answers to the answers whatever the questions I asked to you. Yes or no? So for that reason, and you are encoding message only, and has a power of retention. And the next one is retrieval. So retrieval means what? So whatever the information I am giving, and you are remembering as a long term information, and also for long term information for your examinations. Okay, and the next one is remembering and memory. So already you knows that memory means what? Whatever the information we are making, so that is going to be filling into the cabinet in the brain, and the data is stored, and for the future reference, and it is going to be helpful. Yes, so that is called as a memory. Remembering means what? So whatever the information we are giving, so we are showing the directions to the memory. Yes, and how to remember? By frequently reading, so we can easily remember the subject. Okay, so that is remembering and memory. And next one is our types of memory. So here the types of memory is going to be differentiated into two types, that is short term memory and long term memory. And again, long term memory is going to be divided into two types, that is implicit memory and explicit and implicit, means conscious way of long term memory and unconscious way of long term memory. And explicit memory again episodic and semantic. Okay, and implicit memory priming and the procedural. So in detail regarding this, we are going to deal with the subject. Okay, so in that memory, so the first one is what? Short term memory. Okay, so short term memory means what? So it is all, the short term memory is also called as recent memory or working memory. Okay, so for example, now whatever when I am taking the class, yes, for the shorter period in 1 hour, whatever you are listening, and you will be remembering the information, and the same information whatever I am asking tomorrow, so whether you can give the answer? No. So means only little information only you can be gathering from the information. So that type of information is called as a short temper memory or short term memory. Okay, so which is temporary and short lived memory. So how much time it is going to be remembering, means 30 seconds or more it can remembered. Okay, so the short term memory is also acts like a scratch pad. So scratch pad means how it will be there, so how much we write, so once we are erasing that one, again it goes, again it not going to be revert back. Okay, so that type of information is going to be needs. So here's the example they are saying here, means, so in order to understand this sentence, the beginning of the sentence need to be held in the mind, so while the rest is read and task will be carried out by the person. Yes, so for example, and if I want to give, I have explained you the subject everything. Yes, and if I am giving some sentence of information, automatically you are going to remember the information continuously. So that process is called as a short term memory. And in the short term memory also, the part is the part of the topic is immediate memory. So immediate memory is it is also called as a short term memory. So here is also called a sensory memory. So the best example for this immediate memory is, yes, whenever you are go to a cinema hall, yes, and before entering into the cinema hall, and you will be so searching for the seat number, right? So whenever you are out of the cinema hall, okay, so I'm forgetting about the seat number, so that is also indicates that it's a immediate memory or the short term memory. And one more example, that is a phone number. And okay, so for example, now I am giving information and saying the phone number to recall, right? And once you arise that, and again if you want to remember the phone number, and it is not going to be remembered. Okay, and second one is a long term memory. See, these long term memory is also called as a permanent memory. Okay, and it can be referred as a remote memory. So it can be referred as a remote memory means, and whenever we want, and we can able to regain the information or regain the knowledge is called as a process. Okay, so for example, what is a long term memory means remembering of names of your friends, relatives, and a percentage and the date of the birthday, date of the marriages. So these all called as a long term memory. Okay, and again this long term memory is going to be divided into explicit and implicit memory. Okay, first we'll see the what do you mean by explicit memory. Okay, and this explicit memory is a declarative memory. Okay, and consciously intentionally recollecting the information and previous experiences and previous concepts, and that we are remembering the information is called as a long term memory. Okay, and again sorry, and again it is going to be divided into two types, that is episodic memory and semantic memory. Okay, so first we'll see the what do you mean by episodic memory. So episodic memory means accident. Okay, for example, now you are met with an accident. Okay, whatever the situation happened there, and easily and clear cutly you are going to give the information regarding the accident. Okay, so that is called as a episodic memory. And next one is a semantic memory. Okay, so semantic memory means and recollecting the relationship between events and association of the ideas. So for example, like and how to drive a bike and helmet and drink, how to drink a water and what is a driving. Okay, so bike means automatically the attached terms helmet and drinking and driving, and a formula of application in computerization and remembering the names of capitals. Okay, so for example now, so different types, so what is a country and what are the states, and if they are saying states and which country it is, so that type of information is called as what, semantic memory. Okay, and automatically and it's a what I will say that opposite words, like okay, immediately for example if we say one word and immediately we are going to remember the other concept. Yes or no? So that kind of information is called as a semantic memory. Okay, and the next one is a procedural memory. So here in the procedural memory is nothing else but it is considered a form of implicit memory only. Okay, so in explicit memory, that is episodic and see here, and episodic memory and semantic memory, and in implicit memory it is a procedural memory and priming. See here, procedural memory is nothing else but and whatever learning skills and a permanent always person until deceased. See here, for example, now if the person is having a skill of drawing, and again it will not be erased, and if he have a skill of singing, it is not going to be erased. So that kind of talented knowledge and skills is called as a procedural knowledge. Okay, and next one is a priming. Okay, so priming, it is a type of a unconscious form of human memory. So that is, and try to remember the word in sequence, like colleges, students, girlfriends, birthday parties. Okay, so Pizza Hut, secretariat, nothing else but whatever the familiar to you, okay, unconsciously, and you are going to carry the information. So yes or no? For example now, so when you are in the hostel, and the first time when you are in the hostel, and you may not know the environment is present around your college, but at present you are familiar because, and unconsciously only you are going and you are not concentrating, but unconsciously only you are remembering the area, and behind you what is happening in the situation. So that kind is called as a priming. Okay, and next one is a, so that's regarding of types of memory. And next one is a factors influencing of memory. So here two factors influencing of the memory. Okay, so that is meaningfulness of the material to be memorized. So meaningfulness means what, whatever you are reading you should be understand by the meaning. See here, the word can be learned faster, that rat, cap, tent, etc. So no, because you are familiar with the words. So same words that nal, soak, pap, kas, so whether we can remember these words, no. So that is also the factors influencing of the memory it may lead to. And next, amount of material to be memorized. So amount of material to be memorized means what, so time sequence means 1 hour and 2 hours of content, and long and lengthy content, boring content if you are taking, and if you are not using any techniques for memorizing, and it may lead to the factors influencing of memory. Okay, so these are the two factors that influencing of the memory pattern. And next one is methods of memorizing. So how we can remember more. Okay, so first one is a recitation method. So recitation method means what? The learner is able to learn the information continuously and 4 or 5 times, okay, and recollecting the information and 4 or 5 times, and the learner have the self evaluation regarding the subject. So that process is called as a recitation method. Okay, and next one is a whole and part method. So whole and part method here means, for example, now is for example, you want to study a poem now, so at a time poem you can't able to read. So in that situation, how you can make and that poem, and they are going to make a parts, right? Okay, 4 and 4, for example, it is a paragraph of 12 paragraphs are there. So how you are going to make that poem, and like a five paragraphs you are making and learning, and that you are making into whole, and you are going to learn the poem. So that part is called as a whole and part method. And next one is a spaced and unspaced method. Okay, so spaced and unspaced method here means the principle of work and rest, this one. Okay, so what is work and rest means what? For example, and if your memory is energetic and enthusiasm, and your memory is going to be work fast, and your it is going to be stored in a long term memory. And whereas unspaced memory means what? When you are in a rest, and what you have to do, it provides a continuous memorization of information. For example, now, so you have read one question, right? So what you are going to do, so whenever interest, you are going to read the question, and whenever you are in a rest process, so what you have to do, you have to recollect the information what you have studied. So that is called a spaced and unspaced method. Okay, and next, development and improve your memory. So how you can develop means, so whenever you are recalling, okay, so you should be away from fear and anxiety, and okay, so you should have the confidence, okay, always. So positive attitude of confidence should be have, yes, I can do the activities, okay. And you should not don't fight with the memory in recalling. Okay, you should have a giving a time to recall the information, to store the information, and whatever the information you are reading, that should be interest and attention is very very important. Okay, and adopt to proper methods. So adopt to proper methods here means, and you have to so use different kind of methods to remember the memorization, and frequently you should not be so given the information of continuation studies is to be avoided. Okay, and next one is a following the principle of association. So what is the principle of association? Nothing else but, here it is a vibrio, nothing else but a rainbow colors, is to remember that, and easy simply way of association they have to make out, and grouping and rhythm. Okay, so like for example, a memorizations of the phone numbers and also the months. Okay, so that you have to maintain. And next is a utilize many sense to learn. So many sense means, and like a visual and a sensory auditory functions, and everything you should be used while we are learning. And next one is a maintain external and internal factors. So what external factors means, environmental factors, and if your environment is disturbed with any sound, and you are not going, the memory is not going to be store the information. And health, if your health is not good, the mental illness is going to be as one of the cause of process. And next one, proper rest, practice and repetition is very very important. So then only you can improve your memory normally. Okay, and the next one is a healthy habits to improve the memory. Okay, so here it is not clear, it's a healthy habits to improve the memory. So what is the healthy habits you are going to make here means, and first one is a regular exercises. So with the regular exercises, and you can able to easily solve your different kind of unhealthy disorders, like for example, like diabetes and the cardiovascular disorders. And increase oxygen to your brain is going to be stimulates. So whenever increase oxygen is going to be sent to your brain signals, and automatically the neurotransmitters are very much active to send a brain cells to the brain, and give the information to the person to memorize immediately. Okay, and next one is a managing stress. Okay, so what do you mean by managing stress here means, and automatically already I have said that the brain signal is a hippocampus. Okay, so this hippocampus only is helpful for your memory storage and retrieval process, yes or no? So what is going to be there means, if you have the stress process, automatically these stress makes your and hormone to release more, and it is going to be stops the memory pattern. And next one is a good sleep habits. Okay, so if you have the sleep disorder like insomnia and sleep apnea, and you are well tired, and your memory is also, the brain cells is also not active to concentrate on the person. Yes. And next one is a not smoking. Okay, so what is happening here means, whenever you are going to the smoking patterns, and you are going to risk of an vascular blood disorder, so that may lead to cardiac problems. Okay, and if there is a problems in your blood vessels, automatically the oxygen transmission is also going to be senseless to the brain cells. Okay, so if there is no oxygen to the brain cells, automatically, so the neurotransmitter function is also has to be disturbed. Okay, okay, still now we are discussed regarding of forgetting. Okay, sorry, memory. Okay, now we are next step is a forgetting. So how we are going to have a different types of forgetting. And next one is what do you mean by forgetting means, it is a loss, permanent and temporary, of the ability to recall or recognize something learned earlier. Okay, so forgetting means what, whatever the information we have stored, so as a student period it will be happening then and there, right? Yes, you will be study all the information, and whenever you go to the examination hall, and automatically you are going to forget the information regarding of the answer. So that is a commonly happens in the forgetting information. Okay, and types of forgetting. So okay, first one comes to the natural forgetting. So natural forgetting nothing else but according to time is quite normal way without any intention. So what they are saying that whatever the information that is unnecessary for us, yes, and what we are doing, and we are not showing of that much interest towards the situation. So naturally it is going to be forget the situation what is unneeded for you. And next one is a morbid forgetting. So morbid forgetting means, yes, for example now, any hard situations, for example what is happening in the class itself, the teacher has scolded the students, yes, and if you are thinking about, and the teacher has scolded you, and if you are maintaining what is happening, and still more stress, and you are going to be tired towards the information, yes or no? So in that situation, and if you are morbiding means forgetting the information that happened in the classroom, and refresh and next class, and you should be active enough, and automatically what will happen, so that is also a type of morbid forgetting. Okay, and next one, general forgetting. So general forgetting means what, whatever the previous learning is there, okay, that you are forgetting is called as general forgetting. Okay, so you can't able to recall the information. And next one is a specific forgetting. Okay, specific forgetting means what, forgetting only one or the other specific part of his earlier learning. Yes, and for example whenever you are learning one essay question, right, and what will happen, so some point of headings we may remember, and some point of headings we may not remember, so nothing else but the specific part only we are going to and remember the information. So that is called as a specific forgetting. And next one is a amnesia. Okay, so already you know that amnesia means forgetfulness. Okay, so and due to age factors and the disease factors or the accidents mostly, and the injury to the brain cells, and automatically the person is going to be so go into the situation of the forgetfulness. Okay, so that are the these are the types of forgetting, that is natural forgetting, morbid forgetting, general forgetting, and specific forgetting, and amnesia. Okay, and next go for the theories of forgetting. So now we are going to deal with these 5 types of theories of forgetting. Okay, so first one will be dealing with the memory traces decay theory. Okay, so what is this memory traces decay theory? Okay, simple meaning I'll explaining you that. Yes, the time and the duration is a short period of forgetting. Okay, so you see that whatever the information you are learning, so within 15 to 30 seconds, so it is going to be erased. Okay, that part of information is called as a memory traces decay theory. Okay, see here some older memories can be stronger than most recent memory, so that decay theory mostly affect the short term memory systems. So why? Because in older age group maybe the neuron dies, what are the information has been stored, so automatically what will happen, so what are the memories as previous, so that is going to be arises. Okay, in your older ones. Okay, so like for example your grandmother and grandfather, so you'll be having a showing a symptoms of forgetting. Okay, so like for example now what are the situations happened previous, they may remember, but some sort of informations what is happening at present, so they are going to forget the information. Okay, so that process called as the memory trace decay theory. And next one, interference theory. Okay, so here interference theory is going to be divided into two types, that is proactive interference and the retroactive interference. Okay, so proactive interference is nothing else but this is already known information. So what is the old task is there, so already old information they knows about the subject again, and somebody coming and teaching about the same task, and that is going to be disturbs the known factor of the individual. So for example now, for example yesterday I have taken the subject. Okay, so regarding of learning. Okay, so the same topic whatever I had taught you, and the same topic is going to be teachers, and after 5 or 6 days, so what will be happening, so confusion between the two subtopic of areas. So what is making it makes the confusion between one topic to other topic, so that is called as a proactive interference. Pro means what, forward. Okay, nothing else but the future learning process. Here retroactive interference means backward interference. Okay, backward interference means later learning interference with the earlier one. So what is going to be happen here means, so already simple meaning, so already in the proactive I explained you. So once the information is there in older task, and whatever the new information we are learning, okay, and that is going to be interferes, and whereas in this, and now we are learning a new topic, and whatever the backward information is there, that is going to be spoils. Okay, so opposite way. Okay, forward and backward, crisscross manner. See here I'll go and give an example that, yes, in the proactive, so first they use the word, so July. Okay, Jude. Okay, so what is going to be there means, first whatever the information they have learned, they are saying wrong mistake, and later what they are saying it is a correct one. Okay, so that is going to be interfere with the process of proactive interference. Okay, and next is a the repression or motivated forgetting theory. Okay, so repression motivated forgetting theory means, so it is given by a sigmoid Freud. Okay, so what is happening here means, it is a painful experiences that you have never felt. For example, so we forget the death of the dearest ones and relatives and the friends. Okay, so why, because and we push the unpleasant and painful memories into the unconscious way, so automatically what we'll be having, and what are the past memories are there, and that we are not going to be so dealt with the present situations. Okay, so that is called as a repression or motivated forgetting theory. And next one is the displacement theory of forgetting. So displacement theory of forgetting nothing else but whatever the short term storage of information is there, and that we are going to so convey into the new information, means places into the long term information. Okay, so STM means short term memory. So what is happening here means, they will hold a small amount of information. Okay, and that information, and they are going to uh, convey into the long term information. So for example now, so which boxes might fail off the end of the conveyor belt has a new box put on one end, and the boxes which have, yes. So what is happening here means, in the displacement theory of forgetting, so first they will take certain boxes which was a familiar unfamiliar to him, and if he has failed one time, so what he is doing, again the same pattern of information, and they are going to so express in the situation of other pattern. So in the two similar factors that are expressing two times, and where the person is going to be exhibit a one time. Yes, and first time if you are seeing one place, okay, so when you are driving and you are seeing a place, and the first time when you are seeing a place, and you will be confused while in the passing of roads. Yes, and second time automatically, and you are going to remember the place continuously. So that the displacement theory of forgetting. Okay, and next one is the theory of storage failure. So the theory of storage failure means, and hence we are unable to locate. Okay, so what is going to be there, and in the sensory memory, and where the whatever the information we have given to the short term memory, and that is not going to be stored in a long term memory. Okay, and this long term memory is going to be so quite stored something or memory as a quite defective and unsatisfactory. For example, um, now in examinations, okay, so what is happening here? And first, in the first year BSc nursing, for example, I am saying in first year exams you have failed, okay, first time. Yes, and what is happening here? It is a defective unsatisfactory storage of to accept the situation, okay. And second time, what is happening? And it is going to be mold, and it is going to be stored in the long term memory, and where different types of memorizations they are going to use, and to depend on the studies, okay. So to success second time at least, so what is happening? Your previous experiences and unsatisfactory experiences, that in a future long term memory you are going to store, and that it should not be happen once again, okay. So that is the theory of storage failure, okay. And what is the implications for the nurses? So what is the nurses role here means? And always the nurse should always remember that, and thing well learned or remembered well, okay. So whatever they are learning, and be conscious that they should be remembered, okay. And forgetfulness is not bad all times, okay. And third one, they are saying that, and memory is not a process of magical cures, and while repetition, and by using some of the skills of the repetition only, you are going to remember the memory. And memory can be improved by only the hard work and the attempt, okay. So in the previous we have seen that, and in the memory, and it is going to be helps, okay. So by repetition and by using different kind of imaginaries only, you can attempt the information, okay, and understand the forgetfulness in the nature phenomena and treat. So what is going to be there here means, according to the age group only, the nurse has to so give the information. So whenever you are selecting the old age group for the memory process, and it is going to be disturbs the memory pattern of old age group people and comparing with the younger age ones, okay. So this is regarding of, okay, memory and forgetting, okay. Thank you.